Hello, this is Jam Master Daniel 96, and today I will be reviewing Star Wars Age of Resistance, the special issue, and this comic pretty much focuses on Holdo, Maz Kanata, and BB-8. The first story features Maz Kanata on an adventure with Han Solo and Chewbacca, and in the comic, Han Solo kind of looks younger in it, more like how he looked in the original trilogy, so it could be set around that time frame. But pretty much, he's with Maz Kanata and Chewbacca. Then they're on a mission, and they go to a snow planet, and then they meet up with someone named Samoriva, if I said that name right. And pretty much they, talk with him, and then pretty much Han, Chewbacca, and Maz get in a fight with his group of people, and then at the end of the comic, pretty much Maz gives them their reward, and then they find like an old Sith helmet, which is pretty cool, and it was pretty much like a little short story, and then that's pretty much a basic rundown of the Maz Kanata story, and then we shift over to the Holdo part of the story, and it's pretty much, Holdo's on a cruiser, pretty much, and then we get to, pretty much in the first panels of the comic, she has blonde hair, and then we see her transform to purple hair, which, as we know in The Last Jedi, she has purple hair, but we start out in the comic, she has blonde hair, and then we get to see someone like that, and then pretty much she, is rescuing some of her men on a ship, and then pretty much her ship shoots an Imperial Star Destroyer, and that's pretty much the Holdo story. And then we go to the Poe Dameron in BB-8 comic. Pretty much it's about BB-8 because in this comic book series, Poe is gonna get his own comic, but pretty much it's BB-8, and then pretty much BB-8 and Poe are on a mission on the planet Jahas, if I pronounce that right, and then they're pretty much on a mission to a First Order base on the planet Jahas or Jahas, whatever it's pronounced, and then pretty much like they pretty much are going to collect some data from a First Order base. Then BB-8 goes in and rescues the droids, and then pretty much the droids, attack the First Order and stuff, and then the First Order is under attack and all that. And then pretty much BB-8 blows up the base, then Poe is worried, and then BB-8 comes, and then, he comes with all the droids as well, then Poe and BB-8 and the droids come on a ship to return to the Resistance base, and they meet up with Leia, and then Leia says about a robot resistance, and then that's pretty much the Age of Resistance comic of this issue. Pretty much they were just little short stories into one comic, and I would say, they were decent reads. They weren't anything great. Just little filler kind of stories, and I'll showcase you the artwork, like just give you a little rundown. The artwork is decent on this. That's pretty much the artwork, a little preview of the Maz Kanata story with her and Han Solo and Chewbacca, and then I'll just showcase you some random stuff, like that's the snow planet, and then that's pretty much that is more of the panels there, and that's pretty much where they get pretty much where they get in a fight. We're in the whole fight and stuff, and then that's the Sith mask right there, which reminds me a lot of Dirge from the original Clone Wars multimedia project, and the Clone Wars Micro Series is what it reminds me of, and then we shift over to the Holdo issue, as where I'm talking about, where she has blonde hair and stuff, and there's a little plant, and then I will show you of her getting purple, and then there is her getting purple hair in those panels right there, and then there's the Star Destroyer they attack, and it looks like they're going up against an Imperial Star Destroyer from, with the Empire from the original trilogy, so you could maybe say this is set during the Galactic Civil War era kind of thing. Or, maybe it's their fighting, maybe, like it could be around that time. And then here's some more panels of Holdo, so I'll just show you that. I mean, they look a little cartoony, this one. I would say this one has probably the weakest artwork out of the three. I mean, the artwork is decent for the Maz Kanata and Poe, the BB-8 one, and then that's pretty much that, and then that's the end of the Holdo story. So I'm pretty much just going to show you everything since they're just short stories. Then there's the BB-8 and Poe story arc right there, and hang on, I'll leave you a little move up there, and then that's it right there. There's some more, and yeah, I'll just, there's more there, and there's more of it there. Yeah. And there's some more, and then that's pretty much it. That's pretty much the comic, and then, sorry that I may have showed you everything in the comic. I mean, because technically, usually I just showcase random artwork from the comic when I'm doing comic reviews, but this one I just showed you everything and all the panels in the comic because these stories are kind of pretty short, and as I said, I mean, it wasn't terrible. The stories weren't terrible and they weren't great. I mean, they were decent because, I mean, for short story standards, and I mean, as I said, the Maz Kanata story arc had some decent artwork. The Holdo one, I would say, probably didn't have the not so great artwork. It was pretty much just like random drawings in a way, with the way they made the look of Holdo and all the other characters in that story arc. And then pretty much in the Poe Dameron comics, I mean, the artwork looks, I would say, an improvement from the Holdo story, so the artwork was a step up from that. And that's pretty much all I gotta say with this comic. And if you're interested in picking this comic up, I'd say give it a shot. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel and comment what you think of the comic down below. And I'll catch you guys next time with another video. Bye.